summer spread their wings and fly away. And the sun that used to shine so bright goes to hide behind the gray. Well, you also heard about springtime, life returns in such galore. And because it wasn't always there, you enjoy it all the more. I've been away for so long, but like the winds of the summer weather, I am back and I'm even better. Well, nothing can break up this bond. We're in a process inside time. Well, you know it is quite common, complications come around. Can't escape that we're all human, we all have our ups and downs. But we gotta fix our vision about the things that cloud our eyes. When you see your full potential, let the feelings see you and rise.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the time of the year again. I saw a couple of days ago already the first Banlist predictions coming up, and it is the season, so obligatory video, as you guys also have asked under my community post where I asked some questions for a Q&A. That video will be coming later. But today we're going to talk about the Banlist, and to keep it short, to keep it simple, we live in a pretty healthy format, so no changes necessary. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, although the format is quite variety, healthy, and overall pretty solid, there are still a couple of issues that we have to talk about, and of course it's always fun to get some cards back and to try to make the format even more diverse, which is what my prediction comes down to. Before we do this, I have a disclaimer that I truly believe that all of these things can return / be banned, limited, etc. And there will be almost no consequence to the game. It would only be or better or roughly the same. So yeah, fight me in the comment section if you don't believe that Colossus can come back. To start off with the big hitters, the banned section is completely empty for me. I don't think there is any one card that should be banned. Of course, on the top of the list is VFD, and although I would really agree with you, this card should have been banned back in 2017 when he was released, when Dino Yangxing was a problem. It wasn't, and over the years it has always been there, looming in the shadows, and now that it is still here, when a couple of decks still play it, I am still not sure if the card needs to be banned at this point. It is insane. One of the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever. Does it 100% deserve to be banned? Yes, absolutely. Is it necessary for this format? I don't think so. I don't think that Virtual Worlds is at the end of the life cycle just yet. It would be really cool if VFT got banned, because then the deck would move into a very different toolbox position, which could be very cool for the metagame and for the deck. But for VFD right now, I don't know, I really like the counter-picking back row decks that don't die to VFD and other strategies working, and the card can just be outed, and I don't know, man, it's very difficult. So I would say it would not be banned. I don't think it would be limited either. I think this format is just too healthy right now. There are two very oppressive decks, and I will be touching the other one. So maybe Virtual World needs another hit as well, and then it would be VFD. So I don't think it is necessary. If they decide to hit the Benton like I suggest, then VFD will probably get banned though. So straight up to the limited section. To start off, I'll talk about Benton real quick. This is a card that I think should go to 1. At 3 it is way too oppressive, way too... Like, Dry Train is a very solid deck. Even without this card, the deck is very solid. It's gonna have a rank 1 XYZ real soon. That's gonna be replacing Benton anyway, probably. Especially if Benton's not there anymore. And I think that Benton could come to 1, so the deck still works, so the deck can still function until that point. It's just not as oppressive as it is right now, because what it's doing now is just quite unhealthy, ending with the Herald of the Ultimate Creation, and ending on Vanity's Ruler if you're still playing that old build, and now with the Megaliths coming up as well, the deck is just kind of like too good. Like, we've had unbreakable boards, but this is a truly unbreakable board that almost cannot be outed. Definitely not by your main deck. And overall, I don't think that's healthy for the meta game, so I definitely think Triton needs a hit, and I think that will become in the form of Benton. Then again, if they hit Benton, they have to hit VFD as well, because you cannot let Virtual World be a tier 0 deck. For the normal monsters, we have Orcust Harporer, which is a card that can come back to 1. Orcust is dead. This deck hasn't done anything. There has been one extravagance where it has stopped, so congratulations to that guy. It was a really solid list as well, I really liked it. But overall, this deck has just been dead ever since Harporer was gone, and I don't think a deck like this deserves to be dead. Putting it at 1 will definitely like make the deck viable again, and I don't think it will be too oppressive, especially not in this meta. And Miscellaneosaurus, I know that I said the format is very healthy and for variety, but this card is just ignorant and just way, way, way too good. It does much more than it ever was intended to do right now, and overall, limiting this card definitely reduces the power level of Dinos, still making it playable, but just less playable, and I just don't like Dinos. I don't think there's anyone out there that really likes to play against Dinos. I know we all hate VFD, but we all also hate Dinos, and it's... If I could like kill one deck, it would still just be that deck, really, because I'm just done playing through Misk, whatever, Oviraptor Misk. The last monster is Lunalight Tiger, can definitely go back to 1. This deck was very strong at YCS contesting levels, but after the hit of Tiger, the deck has just been dead, straight up murdered, even though Emancipator came out literally the next month, and basically was just better than that deck. There's no reason this deck should ever be dead, so putting this card to 1 is a good step in the right direction, so that the deck maybe can be viable once more, but until Tiger gets back, the deck is dead, and I don't think Lunar Lights deserves to be dead. Shoutouts to Raphael Naven. Then for the fusions, I think Thunder Dragon Colossus can go back to 1, and I know this is controversial. I know we have Fusion Trish right now. I know this is a very accessible card. I know it's broken, I know it's strong. I just really want it back. I'm a huge Colossus fan. This is my bias pick. It would be really cool to see like Colossus come back together with Tiger, together with another card that I'm gonna unban, and together with the Harporer, because then we are kind of going back to that format. But no, I don't think Colossus will be such an issue. It will definitely put Tritron in check, because they cannot search anymore. But if you look at like a deck like Virtual World, they can just out it with their normal engine cards. And if you look at like other great decks this format, like PKBA, Bird Up, stuff like that, they all can just really out Colossus quite easily. And I don't think there's like... I don't think this could be like the nail in the coffin for the certain decks. We have very generic outs right now. Yeah, just bring this card back to 1. Should be fine. Bring it back to 3. Make me happy. Don't think they are going to do that, but if it starts at 1, it's going to build up and it's going to be at 3. Salomon Great, Mirage Stadio. Talk about a deck that's dead. Salomon Great hasn't done anything. It cannot compete in the meta right now. There is no way this deck ever can be viable again unless we return some cards. Now I have this card at 1, just to try it out. It could be at 3, it really doesn't matter. And I also put some Salmon Great cards to 2, just to test out the waters, but I don't just think a deck like this deserves to be dead. All in all, it's just a really strong, consistent deck, and good players get rewarded by playing it, and I don't see any like crimes in that, you know. And it would be interesting to see what a deck like that would do versus something like Virtual World, being roughly the same decks, but of course Virtual World is on VFD, and Salmon Great doesn't, but they play out roughly the same in a combo control style. I don't know, I don't think this deck like ever deserved to get the X, and it's unfortunate that it got like out of favor so quick. And just keep in mind, if Gazelle and Circle go back to 3, we can have very spicy Burning Abyss builds. That's it for the limited section, except for one card, Mystic Mine. I don't know what it is with this card. Does it have to be banned? Does it have to be limited? Can it be at 3? I don't know. Is it fair that a deck can main 1 and then just activate it and then they win? Is that fair? Is that like Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't think it is, really. Like, I know we always talk about like unbreakable boards, and this is a card that counters that specifically, but it counters it with so few interactions, you know. What can Drytron, for example, just do when your opponent activates it? Nothing. It can just do nothing, which is just so oppressive, so strong. I'm not sure if this card should be banned or at 3, so I put it at 1 for now, just to like kill the consistency. Then you only have to out 1 mine, and even if you have to out 1 mine, there are still a lot of main decks that cannot out 1 mine. So yeah, unfortunate. I don't know what to do with that card. I just put it to 1. Don't know what to do with it, just put it to 1. Then the semi-limited sections, continuing on the trend of bringing back cards. This is such a bad idea. With Dinosaurs or Panker drops, this card never saw the popularity in the TCG that it had in the OCG. In OCG it was basically a 3-elf main deck. In the TCG it kind of was a 3-elf side deck, but it still wasn't for each deck, and it got hit prematurely before everyone could actually like profit off this card. Putting this card back to 2 is really cool, because then you can have like solid going second strategies, you have like side deck spots, you have like maybe even main deck spots, because this card is just so generically good. And I think it definitely deserves to fight among the staples that we put in our decks right now. It could replace something like a Gamma. I don't know, I just like to open up more options, because especially this card isn't that good for all decks, and it's kind of dead turn 1. So overall, I think that this card could definitely come back to 2 to open up the road to get back to 3. Which is basically all the cards that I'm putting on semi-limited, because semi-limited right now is either you are malicious or you are a card that's going to go to 3 eventually, but you're taking it slow. So that's kind of the theme I'm going for. Salamangreat Gazelle. I also have Salamangreat Circle here. Maybe putting both to 2 is a bad idea. I am unsure about this. Especially if you also unban Mirage Talio, but they need to test out the water with Salamangreat. The deck has been dead ever since, and putting them all to 3 is just a way too big push. But getting them like both to 2 gets some additional consistency and lets them, you know, play out something differently, except that Circle has to add Gazelle, because you might already have Gazelle. And it would just make the deck better, of course, but it would just make it overall a better experience for everyone. Then another monster is Beatrice, Lady of Eternal. This card can definitely come back to 2. This card was only at 1 because the BA barriers were horrendous when everyone played BA. But right now the best BA builds are only PKs, and other pure BA builds make a Zeus and don't make a Beatrice. So putting this card to 2 makes the pure BA build a little bit different once more, which could be very interesting. And I don't think there are loops with 2 Beatrice. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if I am incorrect, because this card is definitely super broken, but it's like 2 level 6 is just not generic enough for me to think it's an issue. But if there are any FTKs with 2 Beatrice, be sure to let me know, because I could be completely wrong on that, and then this card has to be at 1. But this card could just, you know, fare the water, see if it test the waters, it is. See if it can go to 3 eventually, and we will just find out, I guess. Then I have 3 spells that can come back to 2. First is Trickstar Light Stage, which is also again a deck that is just dead, and it will never be good unless Light Stage is a 3, so putting it to 2 is the first step. We have Dragonic Diagram, because True Draco and True Kings are basically dead. This kind of helps the Dino deck as well if you limit Misk, so that kind of works together, you know, give something back but hit it a little bit more. And the last card is Second Light, because I really missed like the 40 to 60 cards, 57 monsters, 37 monsters, 3 Second Lights go. I think it was a very cool and interesting theory, you know, how to build your deck around only monsters with only 3 spells. I really loved it, and I just hate that this card is gone. At 1 it doesn't do anything, and it brings back like diverse deck building. It could be like so cool. Imagine like just a Drytron deck featuring only Second Light. I know that's kind of wild and bad, but it could work, because you could just like keep tributing and swarming. Imagine Burning Abyss, it could be great in that deck. Just the danger decks, I don't know. I just missed like that format. It was just so cool, and just like Grass, it like incentivizes different deck building, which is something that I really miss in this game right now. Although there's still a lot of creativity right now, I think it can always be improved on. Cards that go to 3. Morphing Jar is a bad card, should be at 3. Yata Garasu is a bad card, it deserves to be at 3. If you don't believe me, be sure to check out in the description. I have an entire article written about Yata Garasu, why it's not that good. Gold Sarcophagus doesn't do anything right now except for, you know, Thunder Dragon support. I know I also bring back Colossus, so maybe that's not realistic. But until then, you can just bring back 1 or 2. One of the 2. Spiral Resort Spiral is literally dead without Master Plan, so they can just get every card back except Master Plan and a Quick Fix, and it's all pretty nice and dandy. And the last card is True King's Return, because it is the only card that is at 2 right now, meaning it has to go to 3 in the next Banlist, because that is the Konami law. Now, did I miss anything big? Do you agree with me? Do you think we need like a huge nuke for this format? Even though there are like a million decks that you can play right now. Yeah, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, that was my Banlist prediction. Will I be correct? Probably not. If I am correct, it will be fun. Fun for me. Will it be fun for you? Probably not. Colossus is at 1. So I want to thank you guys for watching. And again, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.
Electro's coming home! Let's go! The Electro's coming home! Let's go! Oh my god!